that better? Hopefully. Still got some lag going. We're way lower than we were before, but perhaps still noticeable. We'll see. So oven is preheating to 400 degrees. Potatoes all ready to go. All sorts of lovely seasoning over them. Uh-oh. I forgot seasoning, chat. I did all the fancy seasoning, but I forgot the crucial seasoning. I'm doing lovely, Donut King. Welcome in. How are we tonight? We'll save these taters for another day. Let's see how defrosted our phyllo dough is doing tonight. This still needs more time, or I suspect it needs more time, but if I can roll it out some, it'll probably help it out. Help it out. Out. Whatever. Hi, cat. Thank you, sir. We got two of them that follow me these days. This one's on its last legs, obviously. Much appreciated. Guess that's it. Feels like there's another fold in there, but guess that is it. All right. Let's get our salmon out. Salmon. Actually, I'm premature with getting my salmon out, chat. We need to make some pesto tonight. So I'm going to destem all of these. We'll give them a rinse and a spin in the salad spinner. And then we'll blend them up with some garlic and olive oil. Well, I'm going to skip a rather crucial ingredient when it comes to pesto. I am not going to be using those little pine nuts. Pine nuts are a staple in this, as well as sometimes, depending on its use. Yeah, but essentially garlic. I'm gonna use my nice spicy hard-neck garlic along with fresh basil and olive oil, and we'll skip the pine nuts. We'll throw these bad boys in the oven for about 20 minutes. And as I was saying early on, I'm gonna par bake these, and then I'm gonna wrap them in phyllo and douse them in butter so for a second roast. But I'm also gonna wrap the salmon in papillote in envelope. Is, you know, most traditionally parchment or wax paper parchment, and kept in there and half steamed, half roasted. I'm gonna sub in thin pastry for the paper. We'll see how that works. Awesome. Love my lurkers. It was a roaster here today. I think that's sort of why I was like saying earlier, like the day just like creeped up on me. Like it was just so hot this morning. I think it maybe even got hotter earlier than usual. The world's burning. Yeah, my neighbors must be of the type that just love the heat. Like, they don't seem to come out of their house until it gets up here, like 80s, 90s plus. I don't even know what it was today. It was at least that. But they were all outside today, just... I mean, they were... But, you know, I need, like, 60s, 70s to be outside doing yard work. No, thank you. I am very much missing my coastal San Francisco 70s. Our summers, at least the last several years here, have been much warmer. You. Like, there's someone I went to high school with that I only really see on Facebook or anything like that these days, who's always just like, I want heat. I want heat. And I'm just like, you weirdo woman. We'll give this a whole dunk in water here. Cold water. Well, as cold as the ground will give me these days. Just filling full of water. Give that a spin. Oops, that wasn't what I wanted to do. That's because it's labeled differently than I expected. Wow, is that the right aspect ratio? I don't think I changed that since the last stream. Everything around here seems to change on me. We doing okay with the audio and the lag? It's looking not too bad, but there's still a little bit there. I'm hopeful everything else is compensating for it right now. Awesome, thank you. Alright, so we'll allow this to hang out a little bit longer like that. We'll get our garlic and everything else set up here. I want to use that, or yeah, I think we're going to use blender for this tonight. I have softened that garlic too. I'll use both. Again, soft neck garlic, soft neck, soft stem, made of many layers. This is like stuff you find in the supermarket. This is like 99% of the garlic you're gonna find, but and then farmers, the farmers markets and boutique shops and stuff like that will be able to be selling this seasonally. It's got that nice hard wooden solid stem. It's okay, Cosmic. Take a day off. Welcome back, Buns. Crush them all. Get them skins off. Get them skins out of the way. We'll give this all a rough chop, I guess. It's going in the blender, so. do the same with the basil leaves. We'll just give them a quick run through with the knife so that they're a bit less chunky. Nah, chunky takes forever to blend. I don't know why I almost threw that in there. My brain sometimes just does not cooperate. Excuse me. So we got our basil chopped up in there. Add in a healthy dose of olive oil. Throw our garlic on top. Sort of weigh it down. Take a coffee break. Alright, and so we'll blend this up. I'm going to mute chat like usual, so you don't have to listen to this blender go nuts. Let's hope that it doesn't kill the stream, because it's on the same breaker as my computer now. Also, chat, untraditional from... This is pretty common these days, but this is traditionally a mortar and pestle project. So, I mean, 90% of the time you see it these days, restaurant, whatever, it's either been food processor or the Vitamix. Just in time for the timer to go off. Nope, that's not what I wanted. Yes, oven, I know. Thank you. So these are our par-cooked potatoes now. And here's our pesto so far. Pesto I need to scrape and blend once more. I just thought, I have, at least I thought I have, is it up here? There they are. Ah, it's pecans. I was thinking I had walnuts. Let's throw a couple pecans in there too, though. Just to add for that nuttiness. Again, this is traditionally done with pine nuts. And then I'm going to strain it through a rough mesh strainer. I don't know what the actual diameter on those are. There is gauges or measurements for how fine of a mesh there is on them. As you can see, this is not the finest. It's not even close to as fine as these. And you can get them even finer. We can reuse this. Not with all of that water though. Mescaline. No one guessed mescaline mix? And then all this loveliness we can give another spin in the blender for. Get a little bit smoother. Well, what I don't get outside the blender. Yeah, bot. You're a joke machine. Deal with it. Let's face it, we all know the bot has always been sentient. It's just now becoming a little bit more obvious with its, cues. I guess I was premature in trying to strain this at all. We needed the extra liquid to keep the blades engaged. I think I'm gonna go with that without the strain. I think it's probably fine enough for what I want to do without it. Just trying to get the last little bits out. I mean, considering it's basil and olive oil, this is not the cheapest product to make. Perfect for this time of year. I mean, amazing with all sorts of tomato dishes. Just about anything you put tomato on, you can put pesto on. Let me tell you, supermarkets around me be pushing tomatoes now. They must be in local season, or at least in California season. They ought to be, actually. I mean, we're mid-August, but hand wash time. Maybe that's what we need We need to wash your hands. Chat redemption. To go along with hydrate. I feel like it's a little late coming up with that idea after the last couple of years. What do you think, chat? By the way, hi, chat. Hi, Buns. So stay with that for our pesto. Add a bit of salt and pepper in here. I'm gonna skip the MSG. No umami in my pesto. Most people probably won't bother with pepper in here either. Or they might actually go for white pepper. Damn dishwasher. Hey, Zara. Now we're getting to salmon time. Now we're getting to salmon time. You notice this, chat? I've gone and given myself a seafood dinner leading into a week of seafood. I don't know why I'm doing this to myself. This small little guy of salmon tonight. Tail pieces. I like tail pieces. A lot of people don't like tail pieces because they're not as presentable. They're not as, you can't make as nice of a square with them, that sort of a thing. But I like tail pieces because the tail doesn't tend to have near as many bones in it. And actually, I don't feel any in this piece at all right now. So there's that. And there's also the fact that we're at the tail end of the fish, which makes skinning this much easier. And so I'm just going to cut in sort of close to the end. We're going to have to sacrifice just a slight amount getting that started. And just holding the skin and running the blade against the skin. Salmon's pretty good. It's like you're trying to learn how to skin something. Salmon's a pretty good one to learn with because it holds up pretty well. Looks like the skin is there, but it is not. And like I said, you gotta cut down into it a little bit, so you lose a little bit on the end of it. Let's see how these are looking. These are going back in the oven too, but ooh, I almost want to eat those just as is. But we need to find ourselves some nice layers of phyllo now, I think. I'm going to start by drying my hands here nice. Make sure we're not making that dough sticky at all. We're going to have to get some butter melted here. We're going to need butter melted for both of these. So let's get some butter in a pan first. Roulade. The last time I made a roulade, I kept calling it the wrong thing. And no one called me out on it, which is almost worse. Like, one thing to be wrong about it, but to just sit there and continue to be wrong about it. It has to be one of those videos where you go back to it and you just sort of cringe. The whole thing. Oh, quit burning butter. I have other things to deal with right now. Fine, we'll take all of this off. We need it for the potatoes too. I just need a clean layer. Quit burning. For those who are unfamiliar with that term however, that is essentially a sausage or a force meat or and by that I don't mean necessarily a ground sausage. Quite often it's like whole pieces of muscle with all the smaller stuff ground around with it, and then it is wrapped in its own skin. That's the key part to roulade, is animals own, like, I mean, a lot of the time it won't be exactly the same animal, and I've done that a couple of times, typically with chicken. Chicken's a good one for it. You can get you can actually get a very nice large piece of chicken skin to wrap that. Many times it's more skin than you need to wrap. Okay, actually I'm going to take even more of this off. We're going to go down to about what I want for the fish. And take our piece of salmon here, and we're going to go over to right about there. Actually, that was wrong. It's too close to this side. There we go. And to go along with that, we're going to add in some goat cheese. If I can get this package to open. One of those notorious easy open plastic things that is probably just a lot easier to cut open. In fact, I know it's a lot easier to just cut open at this point. In fact, I'm just going to cut it open at this point. And that didn't work very well. So I'm just going to take a couple wedges of goat cheese here. And put those on top of my skin side of the salmon. Just getting sort of somewhat equal distribution of cheese to salmon here. We'll spoon a little of our pesto loveliness over the top of that, which is actually the bottom of it. And get rid of our cutting board with all the fish juices. You fish juices. From here, it's a little bit of a folding project. I still can't get Chad to see what I'm doing here. Nope, that's still not working. So we got melted butter. Sticking together too much. Just go back and forth a little bit here. Top, bottom, top, bottom. A couple layers at a time. Just building up what will eventually be our pastry crust on our salmon. And this is again going to be our bottom. So the idea is I'm probably going to cut some of this off, or we're going to fold it, flip it. How you doing tonight, Sahara? I think this is probably going to be our last layer here. Last two sheets here. Thank you, Mr. Design. That is too. Yeah, like I said, I'm going to cut this end off a little bit. You do want to make sure that you have enough layers here that this isn't going to fall apart when you fold this part. because if it's too soggy, you're going to get breakage on this end. It's where the whole thing is thinnest. That is a bit longer than I thought it was. We're going to go over by quite a bit here. A master of splits. Excuse me. We'll get a piece of parchment. Take our salmon and carefully flip that over. Allow that to settle again. Hope I have fresh dill. I don't have fresh dill, but I did just buy a bottle of freeze-dried dill. All right, so we're gonna set this over by the oven until we're ready to throw that in. But that's our salmon in a package. Now we have to go back to taters. I think I need some more butter, chat. What type of nut juice did you make, Buns? After I said that, I was almost like, please, Twitch, don't ban me. Almonds, huh? I would have been like, almond is pretty good. I've actually made some decent almond milk, so I'm sort of surprised to hear that. You roast them beforehand? You don't have to, but... Yeah, almonds aren't very good for the world. I would advocate for oat milk much more over almond, regardless of there being almond milk in my refrigerator right now. Possibly. I actually started thinking that maybe I should have... Oh well. Melt already, butter. Absolutely, Schizo. Especially here in California where we don't have any water. Thank you, wonderful company. To be honest, Buns, I don't know. You'd have to Google that one. I would assume so. I haven't looked at the ingredients in oat milk either. It takes more water to produce a pound of almonds than it does to produce a pound of beef. And butter. Butter. Avocados take a lot of water, and a lot of them still come from Mexico. There's a fair amount in California too, but most of them seem to still come from Mexico, and Mexico means that there's other hands getting into it. In most cases. I told you, Cosmic. It's just being obvious about it now. Little potato pillows. Potato packages. This is a bit tedious. It's nowhere near as tedious as trying to wrap lasagna in pasta, though. I don't even remember the banquet chef that made me do his name. The only thing I remember about him was he had just purchased a BMW, and he was at a banquets in the hotel. And so, like, anytime everyone grabbed his keys for like the next month or couple of months, he would hand them their keys, because he was banquet chef. There was keys for all sorts of stuff that they needed to get from him. Every single time it was, don't touch the Beamer. And he was not like, well, actually, he might have been German heritage. I am jealous, Sahara. I very much would love to have. I have some apple trees, but I would like to have some better fruit trees in my backyard. Let's see. I think we can squeeze one. I think we're only going to be able to get maybe 3 on this side because it's. He might have been Austrian, now that I think about it. It would sort of fit. My music stopped? What happened to my music? Tortellini. What you having with your pasta? You kale with your tortellini. And we can maybe get 2 more out of here. Let's put this goat cheese away. I just noticed I still had that sitting out here. We don't need to leave goat cheese out. Going shopping tomorrow to get kale. Oh, I take that back. Well, I sort of have a dwarf Meyer lemon tree. I had a dwarf Meyer lemon tree that I bought when I moved out to California. And yeah, let's just say that someone apparently didn't appreciate it. And I promptly replaced it after that. But it's still not doing great. Most recently, I've seen him treating it as a kid's toy, which, you know, that's gonna do wonders for a tree. Have I told you how much I love my neighbors? Excuse me. I am tempted. I am royally tempted. Yeah. I don't know if this is going to get done during stream tonight, chat. But I'm going to start another project here, sort of late in the game. Oh, wait a minute. I'm not starting another project, chat. I don't have flour for it. I was gonna make some focaccia with the last of that pesto. I still might, but not tonight, apparently. I do want to get that pesto out of the air, though. So we're going to package that all away. Got a big lime tree in part of the canopy goes to my neighbors, but his and mine is the most. This is the royal problem with phyllo, is it is just way thin. Five to go. By the way, this is unsanitary what I'm doing here, chat. Don't rest your pan on your food. Do what I say, not what I do. I am in Sonoma County. Open wine territory. Which I love and hate. Oh, to go with the basic, typical California complaints that, real estate is too much, even though taxes in Texas are worse these days. Or all that sort of neurotypical jazz. The fact that San Francisco is sort of the major town around here and it's not doing great. And wildfires. Pandemic traffic has since the pandemic, traffic has greatly increased in this county. And the wine companies control the health department and its decisions, which, is not great for me, small food guy. They don't care about me compared to the wineries and what they want, because they bring all the money into town. At the same time, while they're trying to fight them from, like, one of the things I would love is if Sonoma County enacted the laws for allowing me to turn my home kitchen into a more professional kitchen. That ain't happening in wine territory. But I do love the constant fresh available produce, the year-round farmers markets, the wine. As much as I dislike the companies behind the wine, I love the wine. It's... I spent quite a while in the LA area. I spent, 3 years. A year and a half in Palms and a year and a half in San Pedro. I did my time in LA. Well, I was living there before all of the they were starting work on all of the real build out for what I understand is there nowadays for all the cruise ships. There was cruise ships there, but like they've greatly changed and increased things, I guess. And I'm just reusing the same pan. And I still have friends that live in the greater LA area. Sort of feel like everyone lives in the greater LA area, I guess. Like, I don't think many people actually live in downtown LA. I don't know, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe it's more like New York and downtown LA. They just stay in downtown LA. But sort of how like there's people who live in New York that have never left their block, sort of a thing. Okay. I had one friend from college who came out with me to LA. Not at the same time. He came out like maybe 6 months, a year, or something like that later. I just felt so sorry for the kid. His parents left him a house, sold the house, moved out to LA, and just bought high-end downtown LA apartment with a view, and bought himself a car. And I just don't see how he made. I don't see how it worked out for him. Beautiful view from his apartment. He had with the first kitchen that I encountered her. Was that the place? Or was it somewhere else I saw in LA? LA was the first place that I saw a kitchen in an apartment that I was like, that's not a real kitchen. That's a fake kitchen. That's a display kitchen. Like none of the drawers you could fit like actual large plates in. It was very like, it was entirely showy. It was, yeah. No, I ended up moving to New York for school, but I actually moved out to California. I initially moved out to LA because out of college, I had an offer for a sous chef position in a hotel that was opening right near LAX. It then ended up being, I was recruited and came out. They interviewed me in New York, and they set me up to come out to LA. By the time I made it out to LA, things had obviously fallen through, and they were looking at 8 months into construction delays for what was essentially spiffing up a already existing resort. Resort is stretching it too. It's an airport hotel. And so they then put me into a Beverly Boulevard tapas restaurant, and yeah, that wasn't a good fit for anyone. So I never ended up working there, even though I stayed in LA for about 3 years. Ended up working in several places. Some of them that I'm proud of, some of them that I'm not. And some of them that I'm proud of that I don't talk about. Actually, I take that back. I'm not necessarily proud of that because of how better I should have done at it, but whatever. Hey, Ozzy. All right, brush those with butter. Let's give one last brush over the top of our salmon with some butter here. And they're all going in the oven. We go for our second roast with our taters and our roast of our salmon. And yeah, this isn't going to be salvageable. I always try and save it, but it never works. Yeah, kitties always getting into trouble. Not necessarily your kitty, all kitties. Kitties in general are getting in trouble. It's what they do. Is that the other thing? Yeah, it's over there. I redid my stream decking, so now. But it is Tuesday, which means we're gonna have to be cooking with gumbo tomorrow. I don't know if I could desecrate brownies like that, Buns. We got our first vote in our first monthly project for strawberry. Cold coffee. Yeah. Salmon skin. Ick. What would you use for gumbo for dessert, chat? Gumbo fudge. And here's another one, chat. I'm gonna be buying it since it's an ingredient challenge. I should be able to find it. Heinz has got, or Campbell's has got like 5 different versions. But if I was making it, do you include okra in your gumbo? Do you go okra? Do you leave it out? Are you okra positive, chat? I buy my ingredient challenge ingredients. I don't know how many other soup companies are out there are going to have a gumbo and how many gumbos they're going to keep here in, Northern California. I'm sure we'll have a couple, but I might have to search for them, and it's not like it's the South. We have better produce and worse seafood. Oh, I should probably set a timer for these, right? See how we're doing with things here. We just hit an ad break. Boo. No, that's not what I wanted. Damn it. I'm sorry, chat. For those that, are subscribed or are Turbo, you didn't just have to suffer through an ad break and have me send you into another. I sincerely apologize, even though they won't be able to hear me apologize here for almost another minute. Yeah, Buns, you're subbed. We'll switch over to just chatting for a little bit here while we wait on dinner to cook. It was actually sort of interesting. I forget which. It had to have been Ford Field. One of the football fields. I went to one of the football fields in the Midwest. But there was an actual, I'm not a football guy, so and I took a tour of the place. It wasn't like I was there for the game and one of the things that I took from that, and I was very interested from it, not only from the fact that they had all sorts of weird TVs all over the place, and not just by weird TVs, I mean, I feel sorry for their maintenance crew because they're getting out a pick, one of those lifters, scissor lift or some sort of lift for them, probably every day for things that they have to get to. But one of the things that struck me besides that was that they actually had to take into consideration in the building of it for how much extra heat is being generated by the number of people in there. And how, just your typical AC just won't, your typical AC, even for something that large, wouldn't work. I understand that, but even if you could scale it up, it wouldn't work for that concentration of body heat. Well, we can put that on the list of things that I'm interested in visiting Ohio for, Buns. I have no interest in football. I apologize. I apologize to Twitch, who's got Thursday night football. Yep, I could care less about football, Corvettes. What else we got in Ohio? It's the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame in Ohio. I might be willing to go and see the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. Cedar Point's pretty cool. I'm cool with Cedar Point. It's been a couple decades, but did it? You see, that's how informed I am about what happened to Cedar Point. I know they had issues with one of their top roller coasters, but I didn't think they had shut down. Yeah, well, it's always partially closed for winter, yeah. Now, Geauga Lake, I'm not familiar with. I'm not even sure if I'm pronouncing that right. My earbud's going quiet again. For those wondering what's going on here, just coming back in or just joining in. Hi, I'm Jason. Cooking tonight, but everything's in the oven. So we're doing it's in the oven game. Just chatting and hanging out for a minute. We got another 8 minutes or so? Yeah, 8 minutes. Till we take our first check on things and see where everything is. Trying to think what else is in Ohio. Like, there isn't much. But I've been to Hershey once. My parents took me there once when I was, I don't know. I don't remember going. I like have one or two flashes of memories of it. Like, I remember the lampposts being Hershey Kisses. That's about it. Shininess drives me nuts. It mostly doesn't get picked up by the camera. This new one picks up more of it. There's something like the wood is just taking on different things that have stained it over the years and has different glossiness levels regardless of, I mean, I've got Murphy's oil, I've tried several different things on the cabinets. Nothing really works to keep that nice, clean, smooth, original wood finish. I need to oil my counter too. It's been a while since I've oiled the counter itself. I oiled my board the other day. But counter, it's looking pretty good. It's not as pale as it has been in the past, but it needs some more oil. Who'd they catch? Oh, he was sawing a pipe next to your door at 9 p.m. Like stealing copper or what? Like they wouldn't put copper. That would probably be steel if they're putting it underground. Unfortunately, that's becoming more and more a common issue. Actually, it's fentanyl, not meth, but neither are good. It's a problem everywhere, I think. That's sort of the thing. Should I do dill? I don't know if I want to do dill for that. See what our new dill looks like. See if it's presentable enough for what I want to do. So do I. I'm hungry. That might work. Freeze dry. You can't see it. You don't have the camera up. You can't see what I'm showing you right now. Blast out. These turned out pretty damn good too. I took the leftover orange syrup from candying the oranges, mixed that with the rest of the soy milk that I had, added some almond milk, added a touch of almond extract, and some orange liqueur. Blend that up, and that turned out pretty nice. It's solid frozen right now. It hasn't gone through my creamy. But I didn't add any sugar other than the simple syrup that was in there. Last 30 seconds, chat. Here's hoping that they aren't burnt. It's been a while since I baked some phyllo. Those came out gorgeous. Little baby pillow-like things of potato. Each their own little roasted potato in there. I know the pan's a little ugly. We're almost there. I want to give that salmon just another... I turned it around 180. I'm going to give it just a little bit longer. Let's sit here and chat for another minute or two. So what's new? What's happening, chat? Who's excited for gumbo tomorrow? Anyone got any ideas for cooking with gumbo? Like, I have to turn... Like, it might actually end up being harder for me to figure out how to use gumbo as an ingredient in a main dish. It could be almost as hard as doing that for dessert. I mean, it is a really challenging ingredient. I mean... All right, I think we can go back to food and drink. Spend a little time in just chatting, try and work those metrics. Work those metrics. Don't want to go much further with that. That's looking pretty yummy right there. Could go longer, but I'm worried about getting into burnt territory with this area here in particular. A little bit over here, but more so over here. Bringing the plate to the food. Now the question is, hey Zeeks. Yes, yes, happy birthday. Little dollop of sour cream on top. having some dill. And we have dinner. Let's get some photos. Doesn't look like much. It's all wrapped up. It's all packaged. Oh, it said it's the right setting. Try that again. That is an awesome. Like, it's not easy doing those cakes. Like, I don't do fancy. I've tried, and I used to be a lot better when I was like college age at doing a lot of that detail work. Not these days. Let's see what we got here, chat. Let's try everything out here. I'm gonna try one of these taters. See what the bottom's like. A little roasty on the bottom, maybe. We'll see. Not too roasty, but very much on the edge. Very much on the edge. That's yummy. That's yummy. Yeah, maybe slightly shorter on the potatoes, but just barely. They're a little like biting into those onion rings, though, where you bite into it and the potato wants to come with it all the time. It doesn't want to separate them too nicely. Obviously wouldn't normally do this. Would normally just tear into it with my fork, which I will for the rest of it, but I want to let chat see what we got here. The pesto and the goat cheese on the bottom of the salmon, along with a little sour cream on top. I think that's going to be delicious, chat. But I think it's that time. Awesome, Zeeks. I'm gonna have to check that out after stream here. Like I said, that is not an easy skill. You know, I'm gonna send all you lovely people off tonight. I'm gonna I'm gonna raid out tonight. I'm gonna send all you lovely people to an old name that I know from Mixer days that has been showing up in my feed a little bit more often lately. Nice to see them hanging out a little bit more here. But always a fun time with these guys. They're one of these channels that cross streams. They've been doing it ever since the demise of Mixer. It's a couple of guys that I don't think they even live near each other. I'm not sure, but they sort of co-own this channel and put their both two different vibes to it. And so I hope you enjoy hanging out with them, or with him, because it's only one of them right now. But you get whatever. Anyways, cool people. I hope you enjoy hanging out with him. I'm gonna be back here tomorrow night. We're gonna be trying to figure something out for Gumbo. Should be a good time, I hope. Should be at least interesting. And yeah. Good night, everyone.